Andrew McCART, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. I'm in Vegas again with Mr. Ben Davison. It seems like me and you just in Vegas all the time, it seems, because this is the only time I see you.
Either that or you keep following us over here.
Well, I was here first. You came. I was here Monday. You came here Wednesdays. You followed me this time. Yeah, you're out in Vegas. Probably no secret why you're out here. Obviously, you do work with Devin Haney, and he's got a big fight coming up on the 4th of December. Just talk to me about Jojo Diaz before we get into other things.
What do you want to know? Just
talk to me about the fight itself. Jojo's obviously that southpaw. Is it Devin's toughest test to date? Is he tougher than Hogan Linares?
We'll have to see. I think that Jorge Linares in his own right was a fantastic fighter. Jojo, fantastic fighter, two-weight world champion as well. So it's a great fight. Yeah, what else do you want to know?
It's just like Devin's been calling out Teofimo Lopez. He wants the Ryan Garcias, the Gervonta Davises of the lightweight division. Now he's not getting them. I know we've seen I don't know if you've seen the videos out in Fresno with Teo and Devin and stuff like that. But what kind of statement does Devin have to prove? I know you're a technical coach and stuff like that. You like to see like the technical side of boxing and that. But does Devin need to go out there? I mean, the Hogan and Linares fight, he got hurt. I think it was the 9th round when in the last minute or last second even. So does Devin need to go in this fight against Jojo Diaz, who's a two-weight world champion, and make a statement in terms of getting that stoppage and putting on an absolute clinic?
Do you know what it is? People can't. Sometimes it's almost as if people haven't got the capacity to put all of the information into and spread it about, because it's almost like they've got to be that was this was this. It's not that simple. Like Lomachenko got dropped by Linares and won some rounds, lost some rounds. Devin didn't get dropped but got clipped with a good shot, but banked round after round after round after round after round in a fashion that nobody's ever banked rounds against Linares like that. But at 22 years old, those are experiences that you have to go through. Floyd Mayweather went through those experiences, boxing, Chop Corley, and at other moments in his career as well. And that's all part of progressing. People talk about the Jose Cotto when he hurt Canelo. These things happen. He was 19, Devin was 22. Jose Cotto wasn't as accomplished fighter as Jorge Linares. It's almost like it never even happened anymore, So it's all part of the experiences. I think that Devin would have gained a lot from the Linares fight that he can take into this Jojo Diaz fight, and I believe that if he goes the right way about it, he'll be able to push Jojo back and stop him.
Seems like you've got two fighters in Haney and Josh Taylor. Teofimo is wanting next and stuff like that. But when he calls out Josh, I mean that's so far. Does he have a right to call out Josh? Being that
Who's calling me?
Teo.
All right.
Can you repeat what Josh said?
I just think that, do you know what it is? Like, I don't want to take nothing away from him because he's a young man and got a great win against Lomachenko. But like we had. He's saying he wants Josh next, then he's saying he's going to make sure that he gets Devin next. Before that we heard that it was 100%, that's it, it's done, he's going to do the Lomachenko rematch. As soon as that got close, that didn't happen. So I get it, do you know what I mean? It's publicity, it's building things, and I'm sure eventually a fight that he wants will come round. But at the minute he's got Kambosos to deal with, Devin's got Jojo Diaz to deal with, and Josh has got Jack Catchell to deal with, and it's important that Devin and Josh do not look past tests that they've got ahead of them.
I know they're not going to look past, but you probably do, so I'm asking you. Eddie Hearn said that their fights are weeks apart, Devin and Teo, and he said yesterday when I had the camera on them that he wants to make the fight, and if Bob doesn't pay for the fight, then he's going to pay for the fight. So he's basically saying that it makes sense for them two to fight next, Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez. Do you agree with that? That makes sense, being that they are probably 1 and 2 in the lightweight division right now?
Devin Haney cap on. Life don't exist past December 4th.
Just take that off then.
Like, that's it. You can't. The fight's been announced 4 weeks away from the fight. How can you be talking about Because if let's say, God forbid, the fight didn't go to plan, or the performance wasn't as good, you just focused on looking past Jojo. How can you look past him? He's a 2-weight world champion. You can't afford to do that. Full focus on Jojo Diaz, professionalism.
I took the hat off though, Ben.
I've got a couple of caps on.
I'll be here all day then. Yeah, obviously, well, you're in Vegas, you've got some of your stable here, Lee McGregor, Mark Dickinson, and obviously Josh Taylor and stuff like that. I mean, you're building quite a nice stable. Mark got a nice win out 3-4 weeks ago in that body shot. I don't think I spoke to you about that. And Lee McGregor's got a fight coming up, I believe, in December. I mean, so it's a busy time for you, and Shabazz is obviously out and stuff like that. So it's a busy week for your stable. Busy time for your stable.
Yeah, it is. Everyone's got a busy end of the year. Everybody wants to get out before the end of the year, and that's exactly what it is. It's a team. We look to support each other. Lee boxing soon announcement almost imminent. Professionalism from Josh. He got that much time that he didn't have to come over here, but he wants to come over here, wants to make sure that he's still ticking over himself, get some rehab done on his knee in the UFC Performance Institute. Also support Lee while he's preparing. Hopefully we're looking to try and get Mark out before the end of the year. If not, it'll be the early part of next year, but same thing, still focused on his job. Investing in themselves, even at a point in his career where Mark is investing in himself to be able to be over here, gain experience, get some sparring. That's the type of mentality that I'm looking for from the fighters, and that's what they're showing.
I'm glad you mentioned that the fighters shouldn't look past their next opponent, because Josh does have a tough opponent in Jack Carroll. He's undefeated, southpaw, done all the right things. People might argue that he hasn't faced that world elite level opponent yet. I mean, Ahara Davis and Tyrone McKenna, very, very, very good fighters in their own right, but he hasn't fought the level that Josh has fought at. The other factor is that he hasn't fought in 2020 at all. I think by the time he fights Josh, he would have been out the ring a year and a half. Both of them factors. Can we read too much into that going into this fight? Because obviously Josh being active, he's fought elite level opposition. So does that stand Josh in good stead ahead of this Jack Carroll fight?
Yeah, if those points that you made about Jack were that big of a factor, then we'd never ever see someone who's challenging against a champion in their first attempt at a world title. They would never win. But of course, as we know, they do win. And it's our job to make sure that doesn't happen. Josh's mentality and my mentality is that by the time the fight comes around, you're not champion, because the moment you step foot in that ring, those belts go up in the air. You're a challenger. You are challenging for those titles. They are no longer your titles. You have to earn them. They go up in the air and they're nobody's. So that's the challenger mentality. And like I said, he's got plenty of time, but he's still here, still making sure that he can be the best he can be by the time the fight comes around.
That's a good way to look at it, Ben. I've never really looked at it that way when the champion steps in the ring, that his belts are up in the air because he's fighting an opponent, a live opponent, who's going to take them from him. So it's a good way to look at that, and obviously that's probably testament to the way your brain works. That's
challenger mentality, but it's the truth. You haven't got them there and they're trying to run over and you're trying to stop them from stealing them. They go up in the air. They win more rounds than you, or clip you with a good shot that ends the fight. They're gone.
I want to just touch on a big fight that's happening on Saturday. I don't know if you've heard, it's probably all over the strip, Canelo versus Caleb Plant. Have you heard about that fight yet?
Nah, when's that?
Let me tell you about it then, right? So there's this super middleweight from Mexico. Canelo versus Caleb Plant, undisputed super middleweight. Now, when you look at Canelo and you look at Caleb Plant, how do you size that fight up?
Canelo is the pound for pound number one. Don't think it's even open for interpretation. Caleb Plant is a fantastic fighter, great skill set, great mentality, committed, professional. But Caleb will say himself, not for any other reason other than he hasn't had the opportunity to show that he belongs at that level, and that's what his job is to do on Saturdays, to show he belongs at that level. And the reason we're all intrigued in the fight is because we're wondering, can he up his level to the level of what Canelo's at? So that's what we're waiting to see. I can't answer that question. I'm very interested to see how he goes about the fight. I'm interested to see how Canelo goes about the fight. So it's an intriguing matchup, a great fight for boxing, and two fantastic professionals, pugilists, going at it.
Canelo's fought 4 times in 11 months. I mean, nowadays, especially nowadays, that's unheard of for a champion to do that. Normally, once or twice a year, we're getting these elite fighters fighting each other. But he seemed to have gone out of his way to demand these fights. He's fought on DAZN, he's fought on Showtime. He's alluded to the fact that he'll even fight on ESPN Plus over in the States. So, when you look at what Canelo's done, do you think he's set the tone for other champions to maybe do that as well?
Yeah, that's a testament to staying ready and what I was just talking about professionalism. That's living the life, like not I've got a camp. Like that's living the life. That's again professionalism. The reason he's able to box 4 times in a year is because of how defensively sound he is, how basically dumbed down. It's because of his IQ. He's so in control that he dictates when, what and where things happen in that ring. And again, you know, you wouldn't want a fighter like Antonio Margarito going through those fights 4 times a year, but someone like Canelo, defensively as sound as he is able to do that.
Can I have pressure on a prediction?
Do you know what? Out of respect for both guys, I don't want to give a prediction because, as I said, they're both extremely professional in what they do. As I said, in my opinion, Canelo is a pound for pound number 1, but I've got huge respect for Caleb. Of course, for his story, for everything, all the adversity that he's come through, but also on top of that, the way that he goes about his job and the professionalism and the mentality towards it. So, may the best man win.
Staying on Canelo for one more. Cause since he's been speaking English, have you noticed a slight? We've noticed his character a bit more, and the way he is. He's more of a cheeky chappy. Well, not a cheeky chappy, but he's got that aggression. He's also cheeky. He's fun. So I mean, he seems. His personality's coming out a lot more since he's. Have you noticed that since he's been speaking English?
Yeah, I'd say so. He's probably more comfortable to be able to, or he's probably more comfortable to say what he wants to say. Sometimes with a translator, you're saying something, you don't know what the translator's translating, so you're probably a bit careful with your words. And it's a step in his career. I think he's actually done wonders for his profile as well.
I just want to touch on Big Tyson and that Dillian White. I don't know if you spoke about that and obviously Anthony Joshua coming over looking at American trainers. Do you think that's a good thing for Anthony coming out here and looking at American trainers?
I think it's a good thing that he's going out and looking to source as much information as possible. The problem is, how do you sieve out the good and the bad? You need to know. You need to have an understanding of, this is what I need to do. This is why I need to do it. The thing is, every coach, I can guarantee this, and if he was here, if he was sat there, I bet he'd say, yeah, you're right. 90% of coaches will talk about punches to him. This punch, that punch, you need to throw your punch like this, you need to throw your punch like that. Like, every fighter in the world can throw a jab, a right hand, a left hook. 3 of the best left hookers in the world, Donaire, Canelo, Roy Jones, Mayweather, all got great left hooks. They all deliver them in different ways. So how can they all be great left hookers? Because the application of the technique. That's what's more important. How do you apply it? And applying it doesn't come through, what you do with the punches. Otherwise, everyone who can throw every punch in the book would be a world champion, wouldn't they? No. What separates them is not the punches. It's how they apply them, the in-between. That's what needs to be getting spoke to. That's what he needs to. That's what he needs to be looking for. You can't really say that because nothing to do with that, because football managers, Jose Mourinho worked with Chelsea, worked with Man United. Like, I'm a boxing trainer. I'm not going to sit there and say, yeah, I'll take that job. Like, he might go, what does he know? Fuck all, idiot. Do you know what I mean? But I'll put it as much as I want to see him win, and if I could help him win, and he felt I could help him win, I want him to win, so I would share my opinion, of course. I'd love to see him win that fight. Nothing against Usyk, but again, I just think that he's professional. Like, I always used to not give him a bit of stick, but I just felt like he was too one-dimensional at the beginning, and I just felt like what happened in the Andy Ruiz fight was always going to happen. That was my opinion. Dumbed down, I felt like it was two gunslingers, and the way that Joshua was going about it was two gunslingers, and whoever landed first, when he come across someone who was fast hands and could punch, someone might land first with him. I just felt that way. At the time I thought, it'd probably be Deontay Wilder, but it happened to be Andy Ruiz. Then to see the adjustments that he made from the style that he had to the way he boxed against Ruiz in the rematch, and to be honest with you, the Pulev fight, I was very impressed with the Pulev fight. I thought he sacrificed the wrong word, he's committed himself, dedicated himself, completely bought into everything that he was being shown to be able to make such a transition. And I saw that interview and I just felt a little bit sorry for him. It's probably not the right word, sorry for him. He's a two-time heavyweight champion of the world and a multi-millionaire, so sorry for him is not really the wrong word, but
you should feel sorry for me.
Sorry for him a little bit in the sense of he's just a little bit lost. Fuck the sweet science. No, not fuck the sweet science. You just need the right adjustments. You know, it's not. You can't just run at Usyk and say, I'm going to let my hands go. And I'm not saying this is what he's saying, but you can't just, I'm just going to stick it on him, as everyone keeps saying. Like, it's elite level boxing. He just needed some adjustments that will help him change the dynamic of the fight, that will help him expose some of the tendencies that Usyk's got, and create scenarios in the fight that favour Joshua, whether it may be positions or, like I say, scenarios or certain distances or a certain tempo, these kind of things. So yeah, like I'd like to see him win, because I think that I can see how much he's committed himself into improving. And everybody that I speak to, obviously I've got a few lads that are off the GB system in the gym now, and they all say about how hard he works and how hard he trains. And again, as I was saying about Canelo and Caleb Plant, I respect that.
GB lads, Pat McCormick, but we'll talk to you about later on, because I know you need to rush off and get going because you're a busy man here in Vegas. So again, thank you so much for doing this for IFL TV. It's good to see you again, Ben. Maybe next time I see you, I'll be in Vegas again. I don't know when, but no doubt I'll see you in Vegas next time.
You're trying to hint for Coogan to bring you back.
Yeah, listen, I can't go back. I'll not be back in America for April, May time. So until then, catch you around, man.
If I don't see you, all the best with the baby and all the rest of it. So
thank you very much, Ben, and good luck out here in Vegas. Thank you.
thanks, mate.